My name is Commissioner Frank Avila. I'm a commissioner at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. And I have as my guest Dr. Lakhwinder Hundal. And he is one of the top scientists in the world. And I am presenting a resolution to Dr. Lakhwinder for 25 years of service and contribution to the field of soil and water environment. Thank you for being on our show, Dr. Lakhwinder. Very good. And this is your resolution for your service that you did for 25 years there.
Thank you.
See? And Dr. Lakhwinder worked for the district for 16 years. And I'm going to read some paragraph from the resolution. Dr. Hundal is a loving husband to wife Anita, and a proud and devoted father to son Harmon and daughter Saram.
Yes.
And he earned a PhD in environmental science from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in 1993 to 1997. And Dr. Hundal is a world-renowned environmental research scientist and an international expert in the beneficial reuse of biosolids. He is also internationally recognized for his research on the fate and behavior of emerging organic contaminants in land-applied biosolids, the ability to communicate with stockholders and address health and safety-related public concerns. And this is why I have presented the resolution to Dr. Hundal, because he is an expert, and we were very fortunate for him to work for the district for 16 years to protect the health and welfare of the residents here in Cook County. Excellent. Excellent resume that you have, and an excellent sharing your knowledge and experience to us here in Cook County. And now, I was always wondering, of all your knowledge, and you're working for the #1 wastewater agency in the world. We have the largest wastewater plant in the world, the largest reservoirs, and we are big. Why did you leave, and where did you go to?
Yes, Commissioner, that's a very good question. I enjoyed working for the district. That was a wonderful experience. I worked with one of the best agencies in the world in the business of treating wastewater, protecting the environment. And I had a wonderful group of people to work with and to work for, both ways. You know, as you know, at the district, I was doing a lot of research, a lot of public service for protecting the water quality of the region and the environment, and it was impacting a lot of people in Cook County. It was coincident that I came across this company from Ohio. It's called INNOW, I-N-N-O-W, yes. INNOW. It stands for Innovations. It stands for Innovations Now. And for India, it stands for Innovations in India Now. So what you wonder what this company does. The company started to take technologies from the West to India to solve India's problems. And just to name a few, what are the main problems in India? Water is the #1 problem.
Yes, well, throughout the whole world.
It's the whole world, but when it comes to India, India is in the worst shape. The reason is India doesn't have enough water to begin with. Whatever water they have is polluted. That's one problem. Yes. Second is, in India, barely 20 to 25% wastewater, the sewage water, is treated. The rest is just sent to the water bodies untreated. I was aware of all this, but I did not have a mean or a vehicle to do anything about it. And I was always, hoping one day I could do what I'm doing at the district back in India, because I could impact a lot more people than I'm impacting here. So this company gave me that vehicle to do it. So that was my reason to leave this lucrative and wonderful position with the district.
I just like to mention Dr. Hundal is a Sikh. Sikh.
Yeah.
And Sikh, their philosophy is to help people.
Yes.
Could you explain your mission as a Sikh?
Sikhism is a young religion. It's one of the world's 5th largest religion. The basic tenets of Sikhism are to serve the humanity, to serve God. And the way you serve God is serve people, because God is in people's heart. And that comes along serving helping the environment, protecting the environment quality, and that's how you serve people. Other is to make your living by truthful, honest means, and donate 10% of your earnings to help needy people. So these are the basic tenets of the religion, and every Sikh is supposed to do all these. All the practicing Sikh was supposed to do all these.
Yes, we went to India twice already to give workshops, and I have seen a lot of Sikh in India, and you could recognize them by their turban.
Yes.
And they want to help the people throughout the world, and I'm very impressed by their community. Very impressed by their community. And now, what is your role at your new job firm? It's called In Now?
In Now.
Yes.
In Now.
So what is your role?
My role is actually pretty similar to what I was doing at MWRD. My role is to pick the best technologies from whether it's from US, Europe, or anywhere else in the country, and take them to India to help India solve some of the water problems they're having. So I'm the CTO, Chief Technical Officer of INNOW, and I basically go around, scout for best technologies. And when I say best doesn't mean only in the technical terms. Best means best suited for India's needs. See, India doesn't have water, so any technology that does not save water or produce too much waste is not made for India. So that's one criteria. I have a very detailed criteria I follow, but just to name a few. So I pick the technologies which are green, the technologies of the future. Second, I pay attention to the power consumption. If a technology uses so much electricity, so much power, India cannot afford that. There's not enough power in India. So I pick the green technologies which are more efficient in what they do and take less power.
Exactly what Dr. Hundal mentioned, what he's doing in his new position within now in India. We are doing the same thing here in Cook County.
Yes.
The Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago is doing exactly what Dr. Hundal is doing with the company INNOW in India. We are a smaller area. We have 5 million people, and we're applying that same mission here. We have the largest wastewater plant in the world. We have the largest reservoirs in the world here in Cook County. We have the largest ultraviolet light disinfection plant in the world. We have the largest phosphorus removal plant in the world. So everything that Dr. Hundal mentioned, what they're doing in India is what we're doing here in Cook County. You know, I tell people that this is God's country here in Cook County because we have water, rich in India. Their water, they do have water, but it's polluted. See, we have Lake Michigan, which is excellent water supply. See, we have biosolids, which we produce at the district, which is for fertilizer for farming, and that the farmers uses. We have that. We treat wastewater, and wastewater is normally I say poop and pee, but this is what we do. We treat wastewater. We treat when it rains, the water that goes down into the system. So we treat the human waste. We treat any stormwater that comes into the system, and so this is God's country. And what Dr. Hundal, and he's a Sikh, and they want to help the people throughout the world. Right, Dr. Dunn?
Yes.
And so now, how do you, so your background when you were working at the district and your education and work experience, this is how you got your knowledge? Or was it mainly at the district for 16 years, but all through your 26 years of working experience?
Yes, all the knowledge I gained from my education, from my experiences working at the district, is actually helping me to do my job as a CTO of Innnow. Because my job, as I mentioned before, is to pick the best technologies in the field of water, and as well as in the field of agriculture, and also to protect and clean up environment, whether it's management of solid waste or treating water bodies like big lakes and rivers and so on. So all the knowledge that I gathered from my previous employment with MWRD is directly applicable to my role as a CTO of Innnow. And as I mentioned, water is an issue in India. That's for the same reason agriculture is a bigger issue, because India has 1.2 plus billion people to feed, but they don't have the land. India's land acreage is very small, so they have to do very intensive agriculture. So because of that, they're using a lot of chemicals. They're using a lot of herbicides, a lot of pesticides. So what we are doing is we are taking a technology from US called BioVish, which is a biotechnology-based system to grow crops without use of chemicals. It's a consortium of bacteria, and it's a biostimulant. Rather than adding chemicals, you add these biostimulant to soil, and they do the same job as fertilizers and chemicals do without adding any extra poisons in the environment.
Interesting. And that technology is here.
It's from US, from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Excellent, excellent. Because Dr. Hundal mentioned that the technology that they want to bring to India is a green technology, that it doesn't hurt the environment. And that's exactly what we are doing at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, because we want to do the same thing, that it doesn't hurt the environment, the soil, the water, and also industrial waste.
Yes.
Also, we're doing energy also. On the human waste side, on the menthol gas, we're converting that into energy. And so, Hundal, you must have a lot of opportunities there. You mentioned water, you mentioned agriculture, and energy, right?
Then we have energy, and we have transport. Transport. So India has the biggest railway network in the world. But their technology is not very sophisticated. Their crossings are not very safe. So we took a technology from Louisiana, Sulphur, Louisiana, to redo all the railway crossings in India, because hundreds of thousands of people in India die every year because of accidents on the crossings. So that's another social impact that we are making by taking a technology to safeguard people's well-being.
Now, interesting on the railroad is that, do they have high-speed rail yet? Because what they wanted to do here in the Midwest, from Chicago down to St. Louis, they wanted a high-speed rail, and their concern was also the crossings.
Right.
Because if it's high speed and traveling at high speed, going from Chicago down to St. Louis, you got a lot of crossings there, and they were concerned about the crossing. And I just want to, curious of what we're doing, but that's excellent.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, India, and actually fortunately, I would rather say India does not have high-speed rails, because in India, there are more people on the train than inside the train. So the trains go around 40 to 50 miles an hour. So they are not high speed, but hundreds of thousands, I will say actually millions of people use railway as a transportation means. And that's the only way they can go from place to place, and that's the cheapest way to do it. So they have no other choice, and to make it safe will safeguard people's health and life and well-being.
It's interesting. So let's go. India has 1.2 billion people living in India. And I was reading an article where it says that 50% of all the kids that die of diarrhea are from India. 50%.
Absolutely true. Millions of people die from waterborne diseases. And according to a WHO report, 60% of deaths are children under age of 5. And just simple diarrhea problem, which can be easily prevented. So that was, you asked me earlier why I left my good position and joined this company. When I was actually exposed to these statistics, and the question in my mind was that if I can do something to change these statistics, and if I don't do it now, then when will I do it? And if I never do it, then how will I live with myself? So that's what made my decision very easy, and because the time is now. And if I can contribute any way to change this dynamic, I have a moral duty to do it.
Yes, that's true, because what you're doing in India and the mission, what is the mission statement? Could you say the mission statement of InNow?
The mission statement of InNow is to make positive impact in society by improving the environment and well-being of people. So in other words, to make a positive social and environmental impact. That's the mission of the company.
And also what I see is that we at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, we sign what they call a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, and we signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Andhra University in India to give workshops how to operate and maintain wastewater plants. Also, we have signed another agreement with an agency called the Environment Protection Training and Research Institute. It's similar to the USAPA here. And because they said they need technical knowledge in how to remove the pollution from the surface water, which they have a big problem there. And so our mission is similar to your mission, except our mission is with the people living here in Cook County, 5 million people, but yet we have an effect on what we do here in Cook County all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Because when we discharge our effluent, it goes from our canals to the Plains River, to the Illinois River, to the Mississippi, down to the Gulf. But your mission is bigger. And whatever you're going to learn and work, and whatever is going to work in India, you could bring it back to the United States or through any country in the world.
Absolutely. What you said is like, the mission of the district and mission of InNow is very similar. Our mission is to protect the waterways and protect the environment. That's the district's mission. MWR is the mission. Our mission is to make positive social and environmental impact worldwide. And we are starting with India because that's where the need is at the hour. At this point, India needs more help than anyone else. But we also have the same mission and vision for other countries. And we have presence in the U.S. We are starting with the Great Lakes region because Great Lakes is the biggest freshwater supply in the world. And we are doing the similar things in Great Lakes region as well.
That's interesting because, water is very precious. And because God made our body about 67% of water. So for us to live, we need water. We need, what did they say that we need? You take half of what you weigh and use that for how many ounces you need to drink a day. Like I weigh, say 110 35 pounds. So divide that about 62. So I need 62 ounces. So I need about a little over 62 ounces a day to drink water to keep my body healthy.
And water has to be clean enough for your body to replenish your needs, right?
Yes.
And that's the challenge in India for millions of people. They do not have clean water access. They don't have access to clean water. And that's why we are there to make sure that people do have access to clean water. Because in India, the source of drinking water, unlike here, is majority is from the groundwater. And unfortunately, the groundwater is contaminated with poisons like arsenic, fluoride, and in some cases, even uranium. In addition to pesticides, herbicides, and nitrate, and all other pollutants. So we have a technology that we took from U.S. again, from Atlanta, Georgia, to remove arsenic, fluoride, and uranium from drinking water. Because as you said, people need to drink water, but the water has to be clean for them to stay healthy. Otherwise, it does more damage than not drinking water.
And also, Dr. Hundal, is that the world is small. I mean, with all this technology on social media, internet, it's small in the sense that we are sharing information in a split second. What happens here in Chicago, in 30 seconds, they'll know what's in Europe, in Asia, what's happening here in Chicago. And so we have to start sharing our knowledge to help the people, for them to, we as people want to get married, have a family, see our kids raised, be healthy, see our grandkids. I mean, this is the purpose why God put us on the earth to take care of the earth and have a family. And so what you're doing and what we're doing is trying to help the environment. And now, you mentioned energy.
Yes.
And energy, what type of energy are you working on and what kind of technology?
Yes, before I get to energy, you brought a very good point that we are all connected. That is very important to understand for two reasons. One, you said, God made us human being to serve, right? So that's one reason we are all connected. We have the same God, we serve the same God. So helping other human beings is part of our being, is part of our moral duty. But other way people don't understand that we are connected is the food that we eat is not locally produced. It comes from all over the world. And if we do not help other countries to clean up their water, we are exposed to the same poison they are. Because any food that we eat has ingredients from 7 different countries on an average. So the food that we eat is coming from India as well.
Yes.
Now, going back to the energy, we are taking a technology from US again to India that will do wireless transport of energy. No wires needed. It's a breakthrough technology.
And so, because any time we bring industry, we have to work with people. We have to work with agriculture because they need to eat, grow crops, and we need industry so people can have a job to work. So we need those 3 things, and we have to find a way where we all are working together, where people could raise their family, they have a job, industry comes in and does that. We have to have food, and this is where the agriculture industry comes in, and we have to have water. So everything has to come into play where we don't pollute our environment.
Absolutely, and actually all these things have a common thread, that is water. You need water to grow food, you need water to produce energy, and you need water to support your industry. So water is the key ingredient for everything that we do.
Yeah.
That's basically the basic element for our survival.
Yeah. And everyone wants that water. Industry wants water.
Yes.
Agriculture wants water. A human being wants water. So how do we spread that water to each sector so they could have enough water and no one has a scarcity of water? That is the key.
That is the key. Yeah, absolutely. And the way to do it is recycle.
Recycle, yes.
Recycle, because treat the water and recycle.
Yes. I agree with you, and you mentioned you're in India. How do they capture the monsoon when it comes down, instead of it going into the ocean, have this way to harvest that water that comes from the monsoon? That's a big accomplishment. I mean, a big thing to do.
It is. And that is actually what we are also going to help India with. We are taking another technology from the US to do exactly the same. Because when the monsoon comes, it causes havoc in people's lives, flooding, all the damage it causes. So we will be harvesting the water to recharge aquifer, to recharge the groundwater, so it doesn't end up in the water bodies and cause more damage to the society. So that's another technology we are in the process of taking to India.
Yeah, so, here in the United States, we had Katrina, a lot of flooding. We had the flooding in Houston, a lot of flooding there. But the flooding in India is twice or three times more flooding in India, and that's a big problem that they would have to solve. Dr. Hundal, would you please focus on your mission statement and the sectors that you're going to cover with your new company, InNow?
Definitely. InNow's mission is to make long-lasting, positive social and environmental impact. And to achieve that goal, we are focusing on 5 verticals. First one is water, second one is agriculture, third one is transportation, fourth one is specialty chemicals, and fifth one is energy. And I can give very brief introduction about all these verticals. In water, our focus is to treat groundwater for potable use, because groundwater in India is the main source for drinking water. However, it is severely contaminated with pollutants like fluoride, arsenic, uranium in some cases, nitrate, herbicides, and even heavy metals. So we have a technology that we took from US to remove these pollutants very effectively and very efficiently. The second vertical is agriculture. India has to feed over 1.2 billion people, and the land mass in India is very small. So agriculture in India is very intensive. They make use of a lot of chemicals, a lot of herbicides, pesticides to get the yield they need to support the population. We took a technology from US, from Cincinnati, Ohio, that's a biotechnology based solution to improve crop yield, to improve even poultry yield, aquaculture yield without using chemicals, without adding any pollutants in the environment. And the third one is transportation. India has the biggest, longest railway network in the world. However, the crossings and even the rail lines itself are not very sophisticated. So thousands of people die every year from those accidents and all those issues. We are taking technology from US again to fix the crossings, to safeguard people's lives. And in the energy sector, we are taking a US technology to wirelessly transport power from one place to another. In India, India has all kinds of trains, mountain, ocean, desert, everything. So they don't have the infrastructure to convey power. So this technology will allow India to take advantage of cheap power from all over the world and convey it where it is needed in the country. And the specialty chemical is we are cleaning glycerine, crude glycerine, to make pure glycerine using very energy efficient process, again to save power consumption and make this product available economically.
Hundal, thank you very much for being on our show, and thank you, and InNow is doing an excellent job, just like we're doing here at the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you so much for having me.